Here we go. And the steps should become very familiar at this point. So creating a new action, let's go ahead and twirl that shut. Click on light grain, make a new action. Let's call it motion blur. And so you don't have to watch me type. I'll just go ahead and copy that, click record. Now, it all starts with the same thing. We're going to take these pixels. And so we want to make our setting changes before we do this, as is the case through all of these. Shift Option Command EN, and then E holding those same keys. Double click, rename our layer, hit return, convert it to a smart object. You see this repetition. This is why we're creating the action, so you don't have to do this every single time. I've made, well, close to 200 blurs at this point that are keepers as far as I'm concerned. I've made many more that I don't keep, but for right now, this step, now pay attention to this step because this is kind of important. Motion blur. We're going to go up to filter, blur, motion blur. Okay, the distance, this setting is for something completely different. The maximum distance, 100. You start getting above 100, you are going to start pulling pixels from edges, and you're going to create lines, things that you don't want to see on this. Now, the angle that I kind of like is minus 45. Seem to work on a lot of blurs. And if we check this preview button on and off, I don't know if you can see on the YouTube video, but this seems to be doing the trick. This is the default setting on the motion blur, an angle of minus 45, a distance of 100. Now I actually cranked this down on some images a little bit, but going over 100 usually leads to trouble. There's very seldom and always in these things, but typically don't go over 100. I'm going to click OK and then stop recording. That is our motion blur action, and that took care of the banding. No matter what you see in your YouTube video, I want you to, if you're working along with this, you're going to be looking at your image saying, whoa, where's the banding? And always you want to go to 100%, Command 1, and then hold down the space bar and scroll around and look for yourself. And I'm sure on YouTube, this looks hideous. This guy's lying. What's he saying? Command 0. No, this is a pretty sweet blur out of that image. Now there's one more step, but I'm not going to walk you through it. I'm going to give it to you, and we'll get to that next.